Hey guys, what's up? Tim here, bringing you a quick After Effects tutorial. Today we're going to be looking at Magic Bullet Looks and Knoll Light Factory and creating this cool little color correction and lens flare setup. I pre-rendered this some of this for you, so I'm going to show this to you real quick. This is just a clip of me walking on this bridge, and we applied some color correction with Looks and some Light Factory. Alright, so as you can see, it looks pretty cool. We have this nice realistic camera movement to make it look more chaotic, like we're moving like a head bob, kind of. And we have this nice sun-looking flare up here, and some nice color correction. So I'm going to show you how to achieve this look. So I'm going to go ahead and create. Well, I'm not going to create a new composition. I'm going to use this clip right here that I have. This clip right here. I'm going to use the same clip, and I'm going to drag this onto the new comp button. And it's going to create a new composition with this video settings. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go back to my comp that I made, and I'm going to copy this Magic Bullet Looks layer and apply it here. And then basically this is what I did with Magic Bullet Looks, and I'm going to show you, I'm going to go in depth and show you how I did this, and how I then how I did the flare and how I made it turn out like this right here. Alright, so let's go into this composition, and let's go into the Magic Bullet Look. I'm going to go and click on this edit button right here. And if I move my mouse to the right, this is our tools menu with each of the tabs. And so pretty much what I did, let's start at the post. What I did was I added first I added a curves adjustment, so you can see that right here. And I gave it a nice S shape. The lower ones give it some contrast, the higher ones give it some brightness, and I basically gave it this S-shaped curve. Next I gave it a color ranges, and for the highlight I set it kind of at a light blue around here, and for the mid-tone I set it at a darker blue, and for the shadow I set it into a yellowish orangish. Now I gave it a warm / cool as well, and I gave it a kind of orangish reddish look for the warm and cool. Now let's go into the camera. I gave it a, actually I didn't even use this exposure, my bad. So let's go into the lens, and for the lens I have three things. First I applied an edge softness, and when you apply an edge softness it's going to give you this dotted circle, and what I did is I dragged the circle outwards to adjust how much I want to soften. And I set it to about right here so it doesn't soften too much, but it does soften a little bit of it. Next I applied a vignette to the lens, and I made this kind of big. I didn't want too much darkness, just some soft darkness on the outside, so I dragged this circle outwards. And the third thing I applied is an Anamorphic Flare. This kind of is just a built-in flare for Magic Bullet Looks, and I turned the reflection on here, set the reflection boost to about negative 4.60, so it's, as you can see here, the shadow isn't fully bright like the original, and I messed around with some of these settings right here to kind of give it just a brighter look. Now the last thing I pretty much applied was a diffusion in the matte layer, and I adjusted the grade size, actually just the grade, and the exposure compensation to give it some glowing brightness on some of the white parts of this picture. And I applied, last but not least, a contrast to the subject part, and played around with these settings just to give it some more brightness, and I clicked finish, and it gave me this. So next thing I did, as you can see in this comp, is I applied a light factory. So if you search in the effects and presets, light factory, I use this light factory easy right here. So once you apply that, I'm just going to copy and paste this for time purposes. Pretty much you're going to get this right here with not these settings. First thing I did was go into the flare type. If you open this up, you've got tons and tons of presets. Awesome presets like this desert sun. That's cool. We can use 105mm, all kinds of stuff. But the one that I used was actually 105mm. Whoops. Alright. So I use the 105mm. Another great one is this sunset. That's some real cool. You can adjust the brightness of that and stuff. But I'm going to leave that at 105mm. And so I set the brightness to about 183, the scale to about 0.61, and the source size is at 100. And I set the flare up here at the top. I mean, you could put it down here if you wanted. You could have it move across. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff you could do with it, but I just kind of set it up here for a kind of sunny look. And that's pretty much it for the Knoll Light Factory and the Magic Bullet looks. Pretty much I got this nice orangish kind of just feel for this kind of sunny look, because the kind of area that I took this clip in from a video game is kind of supposed to look like this, kind of supposed to achieve this effect. And the last thing I did, as you can see, is I applied a slight camera shake to make it look like there was a head bob, as if someone was actually walking through here. So I created a layer new camera, and just had a 50mm preset, and layer new Knoll object. First thing to do is to set this clip right here as a 3D layer. So toggle switches and modes, make it 3D, and I parented the camera to the Knoll object. I clicked on the Knoll object, pressed P, alt-clicked on the position to give it an expression, and I typed in wiggle, open parentheses, 250, close parentheses. And I adjusted the size of this clip so that it doesn't fall off the screen when it wiggles. And so if I scrub through here, looks pretty good. Like so. So if I set this maybe to quarter, just to RAM preview this out really quick, and I'll let it go to about 2 seconds. You can see we just kind of got this short little camera shake that makes it look like a nice head bob. And maybe to this flare, we want it to kind of fluctuate in brightness a little bit. So what I can do is I can alt-click on the brightness and type another wiggle expression. Wiggle maybe 5, 5, and that'll just give it a little bit of fluctuation in brightness to make it look more realistic. So I have it set at quarter resolution here and half resolution here, so it's not a full resolution. Let me just pre-render this out real quick for you guys. I'm going to let it go to about 4 seconds. And of course, another thing you can do is you can apply a outside curves by searching the effects and presets to this layer, and also another vignette if you'd like to darken things up. There's just a lot of things that you can do. So let's look at this. So as you can see, it might be kind of hard to see, but the brightness of this flare is kind of moving a little bit, and it just looks pretty nice. It looks realistic. We just got some nice movement, and it's slow and subtle. I mean, you could apply a twitch effect to make it look cooler. I mean, we could just apply that straight to this layer right here. But that's pretty much it for this tutorial, guys, on Magic Bullet looks and Light Factory and a little bit of Twitch. Leave suggestions below on anything you'd like me to cover, some more tutorials, and stay tuned for my other videos. Thank you guys for watching, and see you later.